Welcome back, 8th graders. We're jumping right in today because this explainer is all about unlocking a literal superpower. I'm talking about a skill that's going to fundamentally upgrade the way you read, write, and honestly, the way you think. We're diving into the art of paraphrasing, your ultimate tool for absolute clarity. Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll explore the power of paraphrasing, why it actually matters in your real life, exactly how to do it step by step, check out some real-world examples, do a quick knowledge test, and finally tie it all together with education, morality, and peace. Let's hit it! Section 1. The power of paraphrasing. So what exactly is it? Well, the core idea here is taking someone else's big concept and translating it entirely through your own unique voice. You're keeping the absolute truth of their statement perfectly intact, but you are making the words 100% your own. It sounds super simple, right? But believe me, it is deeply powerful. And actually, there's a great verse that brilliantly illustrates our main theme for today. Psalm 119, verse 130 says, "The unfolding of your words gives light. It gives understanding to the simple." Just like that verse talks about words bringing light and understanding, paraphrasing is quite literally about shining a spotlight on a text. When you can state an idea freshly in your own way, you prove to yourself and your teacher that you truly grasp it. You're turning the light on.
Section 2. Why paraphrasing matters.
Now check out this clear distinction. It's basically the difference between a robot and a human mind. Acting like a copying robot, that's mindless. Honestly, you could copy an entire page of a textbook without understanding a single word of it. But paraphrasing, that requires you to act like a sharp, thoughtful student. You've got to actively process the material. It forces your brain to actually engage and do the work. And listen, you don't just use this in school. I mean, sure, you absolutely need it for essays and class presentations, but proving your comprehension by paraphrasing is a vital, everyday life skill. You're going to use it every single time you summarize some wild news story for your best friend, or eventually when you have to summarize a massive email for your future boss. It's basically the foundation of how we communicate effectively.
Section 3. How to paraphrase correctly. Okay, so here is your golden formula. Step 1, read the text until you really get it. Step 2, and listen, this is the absolute most important one. Hide the text. Seriously, don't look at it. Step 3, write what you remember completely in your own words. And step 4, compare it back to the original to make sure you didn't accidentally change any facts. If you follow this 4-step strategy every single time, especially that part where you hide the text so you aren't tempted to just copy it, you will successfully avoid plagiarism and absolutely nail your assignments. Time for some pro tips. Do not just grab a thesaurus and swap out 3 or 4 words. That's a huge trap. A true paraphrase means completely restructuring the entire sentence. You want to change the order of the ideas. Use vocabulary you actually use in real life so it sounds like you. And, hey, remember, it is still the original author's idea, right? So you absolutely always must give them credit in your formal work. Section 4. Real paraphrasing examples. All right, let's look at this first one together. The original sentence starts with a big scientific word. Photosynthesis allows plants to convert sunlight into food. But notice how the paraphrase totally flipped the order of the ideas? It says plants make their own food by using sunlight through a process called photosynthesis. It starts with the plants making food and ends with the scientific term. It sounds totally different, but the scientific truth is completely, perfectly intact. Let's try another. The storm caused widespread flooding in the coastal town. In our paraphrase, instead of starting with the storm, we started with the coastal town. A coastal town experienced heavy flooding after the storm. This just goes to show that changing the structure, like flipping the subject and the object, makes the sentence completely fresh without losing a single fact. It just flows beautifully. Okay, and this one is probably my favorite. Regular exercise improves mental health. We paraphrase that too. Working out often can help you feel better emotionally. Notice what we did. We swapped out clinical terms like regular exercise and mental health for everyday conversational language. You are totally comfortable with those words, which makes it a perfect, natural-sounding paraphrase. Section 5. Test your knowledge.
All right, rapid-fire review time. Think back to our earlier comparison. Why is paraphrasing an important skill, and how is it different from just hitting copy and paste? I want you to shout out the answer in your head right now before I reveal it. You got it. Paraphrasing proves you actually understand the material because it requires real mental processing. Copying, that's just a mindless reflex. Paraphrasing brings that light of understanding we talked about right up to the surface. Next question.
Think back to the golden formula we just discussed. What are the things you need to check after you paraphrase, and why on earth must you still give credit to the author? You nailed it if you said you have to verify that the core message survived your rewrite. You got to ask yourself, did I keep the meaning? Did I leave out any key points? And yes, you absolutely must credit the creator, because no matter how many words you change, it's still their original idea. Claiming it as your own is literally plagiarism. Let's do a practical test. How would you paraphrase this sentence? The library will close early due to maintenance. Take a few seconds right now. Process that sentence, hide it in your mind, and completely restructure it using your own words. Got it? Maybe you thought of something like, because things need to be fixed, the library isn't staying open its normal hours today. See how easy that is when you just use your own voice?
Section 6. Education, Morality, and Peace. At the Smart Academy, there is a core philosophy driving everything we do. Education must be intertwined with biblical morality. Because really think about it for a second. What is the point of mastering incredible skills like paraphrasing, or math, or science, if you don't have the moral compass to use your education for good? Education without morality will actually hurt you. Being smart is completely pointless if you just use those smarts to make choices that damage yourself and the people around you. Which brings us to a really powerful truth from Romans chapter 8. It says, "The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace." This promises true peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. And this aligns perfectly with the goal of combining godly character with sharp academic skills. When you process information honestly, like actually doing the work to paraphrase and giving proper credit where it's due, you are actively training your mind in both truth and integrity. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a massive question to chew on. Now that you have this light of understanding, how will you use your education to make choices that bring actual peace? Think about that as you head into your next assignment. Stay focused, stay curious, and keep learning.